Hi and welcome to the podcast. My name is Ida and this is a podcast about knitting. Today I have one finished object, just one. And then I have, 2 or 3 works in progress, at least 2 or 3 that I'm going to show you. And one of them I may have shown you and not really made any progress on, but you will see, we'll get to that one. But I'm going to start out with a finished object, and that is my Moon sweater. It is done, and it is right here. As you can see, it's a basic, pretty basic raglan sweater, knitted from the top down. You cast on, you do a rip for the neckband. There's nothing fancy there, and no folded over neckband or anything. It's just pretty old-fashioned, which I like. I think it suits this cardigan quite well, and also the fiber used. It's a very fluffy, as you can see, but also lightweight, thin fabric. And then you knit, work from there down. It has quite a deep is it called yoke, I guess, or like a depth of the raglan, so that the sleeves are quite wide. You're supposed to, in the pattern, you're just supposed to knit the sleeves at basically as big as so there's no difference between the top and the bottom of the sleeve in the pattern, so they're very wide, almost, because then at the end you do have to make some decreasing. I think you decrease, is it 8 stitches or 10 stitches, something like that, so not a whole lot, and you only do that for right before you do the ribbing for the cuff. But I did not want the sleeves to be that big, so I have done some decreasing all the way along the sleeve, as you may see. So this part down here is definitely, I want to say shorter, less wide than the part up here. And I think it worked out quite well. And then I did the rapid decreasing here at the bottom of the sleeve, as you can see. And I like it. It's smaller, not quite as wide as the pattern, but still not, it's not like a balloon sleeve or super tight, because part of what I liked about the pattern was also the sleeves, that they were kind of wide and flowy, but I also prefer my sleeves to not be that wide. So I think I've found a pretty good compromise in sort of achieving both. Yeah, and then you just knit and bind off. Oh, I want this quite a lot, so there are some of my hair in here as well. More hair. Another modification that I did was I ended up doing a split hem, because that's just what I prefer. I find that looks, for me, I just like that look better. So I prefer just a more loose edging on the bottom hem of the sweaters, that I wear. I added a little label here, which is one of from one of my advent calendars. I didn't do an advent calendar this year, but I think maybe 4, 5, 6 years ago that I made these ones. They're made of cork and they're quite nice. I often find it hard to figure out which way to sort of, what's the front and back of my sweaters. No, I don't find it hard, but I have to sort of just look a little extra before I put on the sweater. So I'm trying now to add these to my sweater, so I know which one is the front and the back. And this one, I can't remember if there are any short rows in this one. There may be, but I just don't remember making them. If there are, they're not many of them. I'm gonna put it on so you can see. Just a second. So here it is on. Sleeves. It's really difficult for me to show because I'm in our bedroom / entrance room, and I'm sitting on a bed, so I can't move further back. Well, I guess I can go down here. So here it is. It has the split hem, as you can see. I like the length, and the sleeves are nice and long. I made them longer because I'm gonna come back. I made the sleeve longer because I am expecting them to shorten with wear. That's my experience with all my sleeves. They always shorten, and I think that's because of the friction and a bit of felting when wearing the sweater. So right now they are hitting around here, and I'm thinking they're probably gonna go up here. I don't know. I like them like in the length, this length as well. So all is good. What else? The yarn. I knitted it with 2 strands of a merino mohair from a Danish shepherd, I guess, a farm that had the animals and produced the yarn basically, and that's the black in here, and then the blue yarn is a Surrey alpaca from Knit We Do, and you knit basically holding 2 strands together for the black, and then 1 strand for the blue. I held 3 strands for the black part and 1 strand for the blue, and that's just because my black yarn was a lace weight and the pattern calls for fingering weight yarn, and that's what creates, you know, the stripes, but also the different kind of textures between the stripes, and I like that. So it's very simple but quite effective as well. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this on now, I think, as we move on to I'm gonna show you this one quickly. I don't think I made any progress since last time at all, really. Have I? I don't know. I am just starting on the lace portion of the pattern. So I have done the ribbing. This is the Ica sweater from a Lane magazine number, I don't know. If you want to know, let me know in the comments, or you can watch the previous podcast, or maybe 2 podcasts ago I talk about this a bit more. But it's a lace pattern knitted on very big needles. So it is, I say quick. I'm thinking it's gonna be quick, but then again, it's an all over lace, so of course it's gonna take longer than if it was just stuck in a stitch. And I'm knitting this with my own hand-dyed yarn, Surrey alpaca, I think it is. I can't even remember. Yeah. So I as I'm holding this, I don't think I have done any progress since I talked about this last time. I did end up having to return the magazine to the library, so I'll have to borrow it again before I can continue working on it. But I don't plan on working on it right now because I have another sweater that I'm working on quite a lot, and I will talk about that now. I wanted to show you my stitch markers. I love these ones from Trinity, Frida Kahlo, and a little witch, and I also have some Christmassy ones. Yeah, lots of different ones on here. The project that I have been working almost exclusively on for the last month, I would say, is a sweater by Augustine's. This is the Northern Augustine's sweater number 4. I may be wrong about that. It's one of her Christmassy sweaters, or northern sweaters. I think all the sweaters that has colorwork in it has like a Northern Augustine's and then a number, and I think the ones that are not colorwork are just Augustine's and then a number. But this sweater, it's funny, I bought the pattern last year, and wanting to knit it, never got around to it. And then last year I didn't see that many people knitting the sweater, and then this year everybody seemed to be knitting it, which I understand, it's beautiful. and also quite cool. I like that sometimes it's not always the newest patterns that get popular. So this one has been out for 2, maybe 3 years. But it seems like this year is like the year that it's turning out to become really popular. And I think it's because a few podcasters that I watch have been knitting it. But anyway, this is so far, my progress so far. So I'm done with the Colorwork. And I'm now on the body. It looks to me quite small. And for many reasons. I did do a gauge swatch, but that was in just the one color, using one color. And I am not really a fan of colorwork knitting. I'm not good at it, which is probably why I'm not a fan of it. And I have a very, very difficult time with tension while I knit colorwork. So I think the reason that this one looks quite small, I mean, I think I would be able to fit it, and I am hoping that some blocking, washing, and maybe aggressive blocking would do wonders for this one. I mean, there is some, you know, stretching here. But the original pattern is quite oversized, and I don't think this one is going to be that oversized on me. So I think what's happened is that I'm just have a tighter tension while knitting colorwork, which I think most people do. In the pattern, it does say to go up a needle size, which I didn't do. Just because I was worried that it would be too loose. When I knit colorwork, I find that I either do it too tight or too loose, because I keep trying different things as I knit, and I know how to knit with both hands, if that makes sense. So I learned to knit when I lived in the US, and that's where you hold the yarn in your right hand. Here in Denmark, most people knit with where they hold the yarn in the left hand, which is called continental. And I think holding in the right hand is called English style. So I can do that. The thing is that my tension is very different. So my tension is a lot tighter when I knit English style, which is also the style that I prefer, even though it's slower. I think because that's how I learned to knit. And it's looser when I knit continental. So I started out doing that, then I stopped because I just found out my phone ran out of storage space, so I just had to delete some things. And I don't quite know how far I got, but I was talking about tension, and just wanted to show you what my colorwork look like inside, which definitely isn't perfect. As you can see, it is definitely uneven, and up here kind of, I think it's a little too tight up here. I don't know. I've been doing my best, and all in all, I'm okay with this. I think, yeah, I did my best. That's what I keep telling my kids, you know, practice make perfect, blah, blah, blah. And I think it's going to be fine with the blocking as well. And even looking at it now, it's not like there is a ton of puckering or anything that looks really strange. Probably could have gone up a needle size for the whole pattern or for the whole sweater. But I think had I done that, I think you would have been able to see the red yarn through here, through the main color. It was probably a good idea that I just kept working on the needle size that I'm using right now. Yeah, oh, something else. I ran out of the red yarn. So in the original pattern, this part of the bow is supposed to be 2 rows longer. So basically you knit down and then you do that little rounded thing further down, but I ran out of yarn, so I did a bit of fiddling to make it work, and it looks all right, I find. The yarn that I used is Peer Gynt, and I did get the same weight of yarn as the pattern calls for, but I can't remember what yarn Hi. I seem to be interrupted today a lot. No, Anyway, worked out with the yarn anyway, and at least I don't have any leftovers of this red. So it's Pigment. Let's see, yeah. This one is Pigment, and this one is Soft Silk Alpaca, which is also the one that I used for the blue in the Silk Moon sweater that I'm holding together. And then for the red, it was also Pigment in this woolen yarn. And the red was actually I don't think it was a silk mohair, probably something along the same line as this, which is a baby alpaca silk in merino that my mom brought because she'd watched the podcast actually and thought that that would work well with the red color and the Pigment, and it did. So now tomorrow is December 1st, and I would be surprised, to be honest, if I ended up having this ready for Christmas Eve. But I'm gonna work on it, and we will see how far I get. I think I am gonna do some, or not think, I am gonna do some changes with the ribbing for the cuffs and for the bottom hem, because they are folded, I think both for the cuff and the bottom hem. And I don't like that look. Well, I like the look on other people. I don't like it on me. I think it just gets a bit too heavy. So I think we're just going to do a single rib and then not do any folding for the cuff. And for the bottom hem, I am thinking about either do like a high-low with some short row shaping in the back, and then just a regular 1x1 ribbing, no folded over hem there either. Or again, doing a split hem. But I think it would be nicer for this pattern with like a short row shape. So it's just a little bit shorter, longer in the back than it is in the front. I haven't done that before. I may try to see if I can find a tutorial or something on how to do that so it looks nice. And then for the sleeves, I am gonna do some decreasing as well. I'm not sure about what the pattern says about the sleeve, if you're supposed to do decreasing, but they are also very wide, and I don't want them to be that wide. So that's my thoughts on the rest of the sweater. And it would be really cool to have this ready for Christmas, but there's only, well, 24 days almost to Christmas. So, and we're going to be, busy December. We have the elf moving in and other things going on, but we will see. The last thing that I am going to show you, and it feels kind of ridiculous to show this to you because I just cast it on. Like, I think I've knitted 2 rows. But this is going to be a little goose, a Christmas goose. Pattern is from Vika and Vinner. I think it's only available in Danish. She makes some really cute sort of ornaments, small patterns. And I bought some of them, and I bought the goose and the little pig and a moon and an angel. And I wanted to see if I could knit a few of those just for decoration around the house. They're just really cute, and I like how she decorates them with little beads and everything like that. It's they're quite cute. So I cast that on yesterday, just using some different scrap yarns. This is a blow yarn, and this is a silk mohair that I hand dyed years ago. And I know normally a goose is white, but I thought it would be fine with a bit of color play in there as well. So it's going to be a little more gray. And then I'm going to add some beads to the wings. I'll see if I remember to add a picture so you know kind of what I talk about while I talk about it. I think the original, pattern is like when you knit it with the original pattern, as far as I remember, is knitted with a fingering weight yarn on smaller needles, and it's probably, well, it's like an ornament size, but I'm holding 3 yarns together and knitting on a size 4 needle, so I hope it's gonna be just like a bit bigger. That would be fun. Yeah, that's it. I have to go out to Ensign. He's not happy with him not being able to be in here while I record. So I'm gonna go and see what he's doing, and I will talk to you soon. I hope you're gonna enjoy your December. I am planning a bit on doing a Vlogmas, but Definitely not every day, but we'll see. I'm definitely going to do some recording, probably mostly for Patreon, but I may also add a few of those vlogs to YouTube. Bye.